Call to order the Gurnee Village Board meeting for March 6, 2023. Roll call, please.
Thomas. Thorstensen.
Here.
Woodside.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Garner.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
5 present, 1 absent.
If you all stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. First item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
5 aye.
Motion carries. Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes on the February 20th, 2023 meeting. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2023-14, eliminating Chapter 78, Section 708-105, subsection H of the Gurnee Municipal Code to remove the 2-hour parking limitation on Grove Avenue and Lee Avenue. Item number 3, approval of ordinance 2023-15, approving and publishing the official zoning map of the Village of Gurnee. Item number 4, approval of fire department request to purchase one 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe four-wheel drive Tahoe PPV from Carl Emergency Vehicles at a cost of $42,996. Fire Department Unit 1394. Item number 5, approval of request from Fire Department to award the Fire Station number 1 bunk room and front office update drywall bid package to the low bidder, the Rockwell Group, at a cost of $28,200. Item number 6, approval of request from Public Works Department to allow Administrative Services Coordinator Christine Poisel to attend the May 23rd, 2023 CityWorks Customer Advisory Panel Session in Westminster, Colorado at a cost of $1,150. Item number 7, approval of payroll for period ending February 24, 2023 in the amount of $946,623.73. Item number 8, approval of bills for period ending March 6, 2023 in the amount of $907,343.83. Is
there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Thorstensen, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
5 aye.
Motion carries. On to petitions and communications. We have the administration of oath of office for the promotion of Police Officer Tim Heyman to Police Sergeant, and second, administration of oath of office to the promotion of Police Commander Jeremy Gaughan to Deputy Chief. So if both gentlemen would like to join me together with Chief.
How about now? All right, well, good afternoon. We're going to do Tim Hammond first. And so, Tim, could you join me up front here, please? We got a little bit different setup this time. We had budget presentations this evening right before the board meeting, so we have the tables in the way. But thank you all for joining us. If I could, I'm going to do a quick introduction for Tim, and then I'll hand the microphone over to the mayor, and he'll do the oath of office. But this is Tim Hammond. A little bit about Tim is he joined the Gurnee Police Department in January of 2014. He did come through as a lateral police officer after having served for 7 years in Southern Illinois in O'Fallon at the O'Fallon, Illinois Police Department. During his nearly 17 years in law enforcement, Officer Hammond has served as a traffic safety unit officer, a member of the ILEAS Mobile Field Force team, a task force investigator, and he currently serves as a field training officer, a crisis intervention team officer, a juvenile officer, a less lethal officer, an emergency vehicle operations course instructor, and an evidence technician. He holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and I think he is joined tonight by his wife Dana and his 2 children. And so, congratulations, guys. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the mayor for the oath of office.
All right. Get this right? So I raise your right hand, right? I is it Timothy Heyman, right? Having been elected, appointed to the office of sergeant
having been appointed to the office of sergeant
in the village of Gurnee,
in the village of Gurnee,
in the county of Lake,
in the county of Lake,
aforesaid do solemnly swear
aforesaid do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United
of
States,
the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of sergeant
of sergeant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, as customary, Tim, you get to have somebody pin your badge on for you. And, all right, well, you were excited there. All right, there you go. All right, congratulations, Tim. Welcome to the team. We appreciate everything you've done. And with that, I'll give you an opportunity to say anything if you wish.
Sure. So I'm going to make this, as everybody back in the back will be surprised, it's going to be very short and sweet. Just a thank you to the village, the board, Mr. Mayor, and of course the police department and the command staff as well. Last but not least, of course, my family. Law enforcement is tough. Dana and I got married 17 years ago, roughly, right when I started the police academy. So she's been with me every step of the way. All right, enough about that. All right, so we're gonna go down that road, but no, so seriously though, all the guys I've worked with, I've had a great group of guys here that I've had the opportunity to learn from and lean on. I lean on these guys at work as much as I do my family at home most of the time. So again, nice and short, just in general, thank you to everybody. Try not to choke up.
Everybody right here, and 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you. And as the mayor or the Mr. Mutes indicated initially, we do have a second promotion tonight. And so I'd ask Commander Jeremy Gaughan to join me up front here as I do an introduction for him. And he is being promoted to Deputy Chief. So Commander Jeremy Gaughan started his law enforcement career in 1999, and he joined the Gurnee Police Department in 2002. His previous assignments include being assigned to the commander of the Gurnee, assigned as the commander of the Gurnee Police Department's Investigation Division, an investigator for the Lake County Major Crime Task Force, and a special agent for the Lake County Metropolitan Enforcement Group. His law enforcement awards include the 2017 International Association Chiefs of Police 40 Under 40 Award, the 2013 Gurnee Police Department Community Impact Pillar Award, the 2004 National Association of Police Officers, Police Organization's Top Cop Award, and the Gurnee Police Department's Medal of Honor. He currently serves on several policy and advisory boards throughout the state, including the Policy Board for the Northeast Multi-Regional Training, NEMERT, which is the police training company, the Region 10 Community Emergency Services and Support Act, which is CESA, and he's the secretary for the Northeast East Lake County Consolidated Emergency Telephone System Board, Joint ETSB. Jeremy was a member of the United States Army Reserves and completed 2 Iraq deployments during Operation Iraqi Freedom. His first deployment was as a manned portable air defense system crew member, and his second as a intelligence special agent. He's a graduate of the United States Army Sergeant Major Academy and retired from the U.S. Army Reserves in 2019 after 22 years of service as the Group Sergeant Major for the 3100th Strategic Intelligence Group out of Fort Belvoir, Virginia. His military awards include a Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service Medal, the Iraq Campaign Medal with 3 stars, and the Combat Action Badge. He's a graduate of Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command, holds a bachelor's degree with a focus on administration and management, and a master's degree in public administration. He's married to Elise, have 2 children. They're both here tonight. And upon his promotion, he'll serve as the Deputy Chief of Operations. So with that being said, congratulations, Jeremy, and I'm going to turn it over to the mayor for your oath of office.
That's good. All right, you ready? I am. Yes. I state your name.
I, Jeremy Gahn,
Having been appointed to the office of Deputy Chief
have been appointed to the office of Deputy Chief
in the village of Gurnee,
in the village of Gurnee,
in the county of Lake,
in the county of Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Deputy Chief
of Deputy Chief
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
All right, this is customary. Somebody's going to take your badge off. Is that what you're going to do? Yeah. All right, and then somebody will pin your new one on.
I think we threw 2 shirts on this one. I just want to take a minute and first thank the trustees, the village administrator, and the mayor. I appreciate everything that the village has done for me my entire career that I've been here. For the chief, for trusting that I will do a good job serving all the men and women of the Gurnee Police Department. The village of Gurnee has been fantastic to me and my family, and to all the employees. If you were here an hour ago or an hour and a half ago, you would have listened to a 20-minute spiel about wellness that is being pushed out to the police department for the last year. And they really do care about all their employees. So I love working here. I love working for the village and for the residents, and especially for the officers here, which are the best in Lake County. So thank all of you, and then especially to my family and my wife, who has put up with some call-ins and a couple deployments, and she still showed up today, so I really do appreciate that. So thank you.
Right here, 1, 2,
All right, real quickly, I'm going to wrap this up. Congratulations, Tim. Congratulations, Jeremy. Thank you both for what you do for our organization and how you serve the officers at the Gurnee Police Department and support them as they serve the community to the best of their abilities. So we appreciate the skills you guys bring. We're excited to have you as part of the team. I just wanted to congratulate you both and say thank you for everything you've done, not just for myself, but for the leadership team, the organization, the police department, and the officers that work there. And then, listen, on a personal note, I'm not sure I'm going to have this opportunity again. So today is my son's 11th birthday, and he's here tonight supporting his mom and dad. And so, happy birthday, buddy. I love you.
Agenda.
So we're back on, and we're just continuing with our inviting our partners to come out to the village to tell us a little bit about them. And I could just tell you that for the Warren Township, very, very important partnership for the village. We appreciate all that Sue Simpson does and her team. Seems like she drugged some of them along with her tonight, so that's very nice. Nice for you guys to come out. But I can't emphasize enough that the village works well because our partners work well, and we so appreciate your willingness to do that, Sue. So take it away.
Are we on? Oh, we're on now. First off, I would like to say to the departing police officers how much their dedication to the village is appreciated, and to the 2 officers that were recently injured in the line of duty. My husband is with me tonight, and he had a broken ankle, and I know just how rough that is. So much appreciation to them when you speak to them, please.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for inviting us out to speak to you tonight about the township. We always have a big party out there, and you know, we don't invite anybody, it's just amongst ourselves. But all kidding aside, township government is one of the oldest forms of government. It is the oldest form of government in the United States, having been established in the mid-1600s. So it has been with us throughout history, and it has held a very important place in government throughout the history of the United States. Warren Township, I believe, will be celebrating our 175th anniversary this year, and we have an 82-acre campus. Township government only has to provide 3 things. One is the assessment of property, and our assessor is here this evening. Charlie, please stand up. He is the best assessor in the state of Illinois, bar none. I am prejudiced, but yeah, he is great. This year, we will be doing the quadrennial, so that's going to be a little rough on some people, but it is dictated by law, and Charlie and his crew will carry it out with great expertise. The residents of Warren Township have no need to worry about that. In Warren Township, we have 9 municipalities. Gurnee is the most populous of the villages that we serve. We have 65,000 residents in Warren Township, and we serve 36 square miles. It is a little bit of anomaly, our borders, but it's usually 6 by 6. We have an 82-acre campus that has multiple uses on it. Our highway department, the best highway commissioner in the state, no less. She's here this evening, Amy Sarver. Amy, stand up. You don't think you're going to get away. And I also have two of my trustees, Elmer Fallows and Mitch Jacobson. I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for all of these people. And our campus is exploding with all sorts of activities. Lake County has told us we're the busiest park in Lake County, and I know that for a fact. We just have multiple people, hundreds if not thousands there in the summer on a daily basis. There were people even on the playground today. As I said, we only have 3 things that we have to do. We have to assess property taxes. I have to provide general assistance, which is a form of public aid, and the highway commissioner has to plow the streets. But we do much more than that in Warren Township. We happen to have a teen center, and our special rec department, Becky will be expounding on that shortly. And we have our senior center, which is past our success in that way is extremely gratifying and not unexpected, but it has burgeoned in the past 2 years. And Elmer will be reading a statistic tonight that by 2030, 1 in 6 will be a senior. So I think that Gurnee and Warren Township are well placed to meet that need. With the expansion that we put on in 2019, we can take care of many more people. We have approximately 5,000 people on our mailing list for our senior services. So it is an enormous portion of what our funds go to and what happens on a day-to-day basis. But ironically, the busiest portion of the township is the playground. We've got a great playground, and I'm dead on the mic. Can you still hear me? Okay. This year, we've made improvements. We put in a bocce ball court, and we improved our tennis courts. We've got more improvements coming. All the fields, I met up, as the mayor mentioned. We have intergovernmental relations with numerous governmental entities within Warren Township. We have Wildwood, Gurnee, Grandwood Park that we partner with, along with Lindenhurst Park District for our Special Recreation Association. We also partner with the village, particularly when there's a flood. It's all hands on deck then. I'll drive past the river and give Pat a call and say, well, is it time yet? And he lets me know one way or the other. We have a 5-year improvement plan going on starting this year with redoing all the ball fields, and with ball fields improvements costing $250,000 apiece. It will take us a little bit of time to do that. We're anticipating approximately 5 years to finish them all and to put in a spray park, a water spray park, as part of our improved playground and increase the experience for children that visit our facility. We've even had endangered species, and I'm not speaking of politicians. The Department of Natural Resources came out 2 years ago. We had owls living, endangered owls living in our facility, in our park. And they said it was unheard of for them to nest. So they were DNR was out there literally every day checking on them. I had to cordon off their area so they could breed. They bred successfully. So we have 2 more owlets to add to the roster. With that, I've brought along a couple of individuals that are going to speak of their various departments. The first one up will be, where is he? Adam Krieger. Where did you go? Hiding behind Charlie. Adam will give you an update on Youth and Family Services, which was one department that even during the economic downturn, we expanded and improved upon. Their offices are located in Gurnee, right off of Greenleaf. So Adam, why don't you come up here and give your 3 minute, I threatened him only 3 minutes, so you'll hear from Adam Krieger, our Youth and Family Services Director.
Thank you, and I'll keep this very brief. So I think most of you are probably pretty familiar with Youth and Family Services. There's really 2 components. We have our outpatient counseling services, that's off of Greenleaf, and right now we currently have somewhere about 180 active clients. Just, that's a lot, so to know. And we, no shock to anybody, we have seen the impact of COVID, the impact of social media, and there's a lot of things for us as a community, as with all communities. We're all very concerned about our youth, and we're seeing a lot of high rates of anxiety. We're seeing, coming out of COVID, a lot of kids who have struggled kind of getting back into school, even still struggling with that. So we're very active in the counseling side. We also have regular groups, everything from, we do equestrian therapy, we do art therapy, we do social skills groups, we do parenting groups in English and Spanish. And in fact, I'm incredibly fortunate. I have 2 Spanish-speaking therapists, and actually the Spanish-speaking population of any population has been the fastest growing in terms of services. And we also just do regular workshops throughout the year. We've got one coming up on IEPs and helping parents understand that, and also helping parents better understand how to help their children struggling with anxiety. And then in addition to the counseling services, we also, of course, have our teen center, and that provides a safe and wholesome place for kids to come to after school. We get between 40 to 70 kids there on a daily basis. We have 3D printers. We have a wonderful garden that we do with the kids in the summer. We've done, we do all kinds of field trips. We have a great cooking club. And the kids that come there, many of the kids start out there in 6th grade, and by the time they're in high school, they're coming back as volunteers. So it's a wonderful experience. If anybody ever wants to visit the Teen Center, please let me know, and we'll have you visit. And that's basically Youth and Family Services. And at the Teen Center, I think I mentioned, we have about 200 members. And I will say most of the kids come from Woodland and from Almond campus.
Next up, representing the Senior Center, our Senior Director, Carly Jastrzemski, was going to be here tonight, but she blew out her knee. And so we have one of the trustees, Elmer Fallows, that is going to give her report.
Warren Township Senior Services is a focal point in Warren Township for residents 55 and up. With over 50 activities, games, programs, trips, and special events offered per week, there is a variety to choose from. Program opportunities are fun, educational, celebrate culture, individuality, diversity, and community. Fitness classes are offered to our seniors in every level, from moderation to vigorous. In addition, we have a fitness room for use that is well balanced and stocked with up-to-date equipment. Seniors are encouraged to make themselves at home while at the Senior Center. There are many areas for enjoying snacks, a good book, relaxing, or a great conversation. Many people bring a lunch and stay for the day. There's plenty to do in the building. 2 popular rooms for relaxing in the building are the library and a cozy cafe. The beautiful library is modern, overlooking the water with computers, puzzles, media, and internet access with staff support. The cozy cafe boasts a fireplace, sofa, tables, chairs, and complimentary beverages. Our social workers assess, monitor, advocate, and make referrals for services. The Senior Center has a strong Medicare SHIP program, also known as Senior Health Insurance Program. Over the past year, senior services has seen a dramatic increase in appointments, not only during Medicare open enrollment, but year-round. For those in need of items such as wheelchairs, canes, walkers, etc., the Senior Center has a lending closet that lends durable medical equipment to Warren Township residents. This service is available to seniors at the front desk or by curbside pickup. In 2019, the addition was made possible to the Senior Center, which gave the seniors much-needed space and improved their existing space. Prior to the construction, several of the programs were sharing rooms due to lack of space. Now the building is equipped with a gymnasium that currently hosts classes and 80 pickleball courts per month. There's a newly built upscale multi-purpose room that can easily be divided into 3 large rooms, so multiple programs can be run simultaneously. The much-needed addition has enhanced our functionality by giving us space needed to run the programs and classes. The Warren Township Senior Center is an asset to the community. I have watched the growth of membership and programming and the overall size of the building over the years. Membership continues to steadily grow. Finally, did you know in 2030, 1 in 6 people will be at the age of 60 or over? That is.
Thank you, Elmer. And then I would like to call upon Becky Kirschkanowski. Did I say it right? You were close. I told you I'd forget that. Becky and I have known each other for 22 years, and I have yet to get her last name right. So Becky is our director for Warren Special Recreation that provides programming for our special needs community. And we are extremely lucky to have her as a director. Also, there's packets that I've distributed to you. As Pat Mute said, I've killed a few trees. But it gives you a list of all the programming that we've just glossed over tonight. And with that, I'll turn it over to Becky.
Thank you, Sue. I also want to introduce Jessica Fultz. She's our superintendent, so she's going to share a few things. So Sue, I think you mentioned to me beforehand that we would get more than 2 or 3 minutes. And I know many of you know me and have known me for many years. I worked for Gurnee Park District for 16 years, and I definitely talk for more than 2 minutes. So we have some really, I feel, valuable information to share. We truly appreciate the opportunity to be here and for the support of Warren Special Recreation, and just to give you a better insight into what we do and who we are and what we're looking to do as we move into the future. I know we had the statistic about seniors, and I'd also like to share that you know, by the year of 2035, now they're kind of moving it up even. They're estimating that there could be 1 in 4 children that are diagnosed with autism. So that is a rate that's just so exponential that it's something that, you know, we need to be aware of as a society that is advocating in our community of Warren Township, advocating for inclusivity and diversity and equity and all of that. I feel that what we do here in our community is part of that vision and part of that mission. Warren Special Recreation Association is an SRA, so it's unique to Illinois, Special Recreation Association. So we're a standalone entity that provides programming, meaningful recreation and programming to individuals with disabilities from ages, we relatively work with individuals from about 6 years all the way to probably about 65, would you say, Jess? Maybe around 65 right now, but we don't have a cap on that. And we're also noting a lot of the gaps, one of those gaps being in early childhood. And with that stat that I just shared, that's one of the things that we know we need to work with the schools, the communities that we serve. Within our SRA, we do serve the communities that Sue mentioned, meaning we have member agencies. So Gurnee Park District is one, Wildwood Park District, Grandwood Park District, the township, and we have recently had Lindenhurst Park District join our SRA. So that means that the residents of their communities can come in and utilize our services, and they would pay a resident rate as opposed to a non-resident rate, much structured like park district settings. So they come and enjoy our programs. We have probably about 75 to 100 different programs that we do throughout the year. Jess is going to talk a little bit more about what they are, why we do what we do. And then we also, hopefully, if you look through the pictures, one of them that was highlighted was that this year WSRA went out and caroled around, we called it caroling around town. I did special events for many years for Gurnee, and when I took the job, was very excited when I met with Sue and the WSRA board to be able to find a way to grow that community integration and to allow our residents, our people, our community, the opportunities that everyone should have. So it's really our goal to minimize the barriers and to allow those experiences to occur and to enrich our participants' lives. So within that packet is a picture of when we came here and got to carol for the village, and I know Quinn was there, and Pat met us at the door, and I have to share that it probably was one of the warmest welcomes I had ever received, and there was police officers were here and the fire department and all these people. And I walked in and I thought, I think Pat forgot we were coming. You know, we came in we have a choir, so we have a WSA choir that we created this year. And they're magnificent. And we walked in and I said, oh, Pat, I apologize, are we here at the wrong time? And he said, Becky, this is all for WSRA. Well, of course, I'm a very emotional person, so I had to like choke it out. I was like, oh my gosh. So we got up to sing, and I have to tell you, it's those types of things that are meaningful not only to our families, to the staff, but we are trying to find creative ways to become more involved. And I'm gonna let Jess speak to what does it really mean to be part of WSRA, to be a staff person there? What does it entail? I think some people maybe have a mixed perception of what's all involved, but she can speak to that better than I can, and then I'll just share something at the end when she's finished. So again, thank you very much. Nice to see everybody back here too. I feel bad that my back's back here.
Hi, everybody. So just to quickly give a quick speech off here. So TR is basically recreation and leisure experiences that help individual with disabilities physically, mentally, and socially. So as TR specialists, we look at our programs and we find ways to adapt and modify the programs to meet varying disabilities as well as ability levels for the individuals that we serve. So we meet with individuals, we do intake meetings, we learn about their needs, we learn about their likes, their dislikes, them as a person, and then find ways to adapt our programming that we're offering. So even if we have 10 individuals, they all have different and unique abilities as well as different diagnoses that we have to meet to help them succeed and reach personal goals that they have as well as their families have for them to achieve. We also step in typically when they age out of school, 21 and over. We have an adult day program that's very popular, and that kind of is a big component that comes in to offer those life skills and continue on with the structure, give them the most quality of life, and help them to continue integrating within the community. So that's a big piece as well for them to integrate with their peers, socialize. We see that teen population, when normal kids, well, I shouldn't say normal kids, when most kids are interacting, gaining some of those friendships, a lot of parents come out to us and they're like, I really want them to have more peers, to build meaningful relationships, to get more involved. And then we come in, we offer those social dances, those special outings, those special memories, and make it meaningful and impactful. So that's kind of what we do as far as providing opportunities.
And one more thing, thanks, Jess. One more thing to share. I know Sue talked about the township and what their mission is and what they do. Having worked with so many fantastic leaders, particularly in the community of Gurnee, the support that Sue Simpson has provided to WSRA and all of the participants that have been able to partake in the programming and reap the benefits of a playground that has equipment that they can use, and everything that she's done is just tremendous. I've always known that, but having only been at the township for 1.5 years now, I'm learning more about it. But it's enormous, the impact that it is making in the lives of those that live in Gurnee and you know, in Wildwood, et cetera. So I applaud Sue for where her heart lives, because it's so in the right place. So how do we, you know, get others involved? That's what we're continuously trying to make happen. And so hopefully we've been trying to push it out there, but we do have a Friends of Warren Special Recreation Association group. It is a 501c3, and we have a fundraiser coming up on March 24th. It's called our Shining Stars fundraiser, and what that fundraiser is for us to raise scholarship dollars for those families that need that extra help financially. So another barrier of money doesn't become the issue of why they can't have their adult loved one who's going to continue to need to live with them until they make a plan for when they move on at 80 years old or whatever it may be, that they have programs like this in place. These scholarships allow the families and the participants to partake in things. And so those dollars and those monies are critically important to the longevity of a rich life. So I encourage you, if you haven't seen it, Jess and I are here, and you can come and join with us and have a great time for a great cause. All the township staff have always been so supportive too, so I thank them for it and appreciate all the time you gave us tonight.
Please come. The last Shining Stars that we had in, was it 3 years ago? 2019, it was the day before the COVID lockdown happened. We had a blast. I unfortunately spent $1,000, so don't drink before you start to bid. But we had a wonderful time, and I urge you all, it will be at the Senior Center. Kevin knows the facility well because Exchange Club meets there, and the mayor knows it well. And with that, I want to say thank you for having us. And one final thing is that this will be the last time I'll be coming in front of you. I'm retiring. Up until now, I haven't cried about it. But I'm leaving you with wonderful, wonderful people to take care of your needs. And Elmer, stand up. He will be your next supervisor. So please give him a round of applause. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Sue. Again, just thank you for all that you've done. How many years were you a supervisor for?
26.
26, all right. I think you came up 2 years short about, how long was, no, I'm thinking of Dick Welton.
Bob was in for 36 years.
Oh, 30, so you had a ways to go, right? So you weren't gonna beat that record, no? Well, thank you for your service, but really, I think aptly described your heart for all those people in Warren Township. And sometimes Gurnee thinks that we're somehow encompasses Warren Township. It's just the opposite. You guys encompass us. So thanks, and thanks for all you guys do. So. That's exactly what we'll miss, Sue, just right there. All right, so on to the final item. Do we have?
No, there's no old business or no new business. We wrapped up the budget workshop before the meeting, so.
That's it, okay.
Public comment.
So the final item is public comment. So anybody that would like to make a public comment, if you'd like to step to the microphone and state your name.
Shelley Palmer. Gurnee trustees are considering allowing gas stations and convenience stores to sell beer and wine. What I heard from the village at the January 30th Committee of the Whole meeting was related to additional village revenue from liquor sales, financial opportunities for business owners, and emphasis on the convenience to consumers who are looking for one-stop shopping to meet their needs. According to Economic Development Director Ellen Dean, Gurnee operators feel they're at a competitive disadvantage because many surrounding communities allow liquor sales at fuel stations and convenience stores. Mayor Hood said liquor restrictions can be created however the village wants, and licenses would be considered on a case-by-case basis. I do have some questions about this ordinance change. It was said that only beer and wine would be sold, but how long until spirits are included? If businesses again claim competitive disadvantages, would their requests be met to allow spirits? According to Section 6-56 of the Gurnee Code of Ordinances, there shall be issued in the village no more than 9 Class 4 licenses. Will this number remain, or will the number be increased to accommodate license requests of all who apply and meet the qualifications to be granted one? Gurnee Police said sales would be no earlier than 6 a.m. and no later than 10 p.m. Does that also apply to weekends? And will these hours change to match surrounding community hours of sale, or will they remain as stated? Also, as stated at the January 30th meeting, will the requirement that alcohol be kept in a separate alcohol-only section and lockable after service hours remain in effect? Will there be restrictions placed on the licenses? For example, if the business is within so many feet of a home for the aged, church, residential neighborhood, K-12 school, daycare, preschool, the establishment would not be allowed a license? Will the amount of square footage allowed for alcohol sales be limited within the establishment? Will single-serving cans of beer and wine be sold? With additional outlets in Gurnee, will there be additional police presence on village streets? Based on Ellen Dean's January 30th presentation, on what basis could Gurnee deny some and approve other requests for liquor licenses from gas stations and convenience stores? Although revenue from liquor sales might be good, so is a community that's good for its residents. If a change is made to Gurnee alcohol laws, residents need to be secure in the knowledge that measures will be taken to ensure their safety. Thank you.
Thank you. And ma'am, I'd be able to answer some of those questions offline. So if you'd like to, some of the questions I just can't answer because they're future, but I'll do my best to answer some of the questions that I would know the answers to. So if you could connect with me afterwards, that would be fine. Okay, thanks. Anybody else that would like to make a public comment? There being none, there's a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by. Who's second?
I'll second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Garner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.